listeners to stay tuned to this frequency. The time now is 22 minutes to 6.
Fellow citizens, this is Lieutenant Colonel S.H. King speaking. There is going to be an important announcement by the Army Commander, Brigadier J.A. Bangura.
Fellow citizens, owing to the current state of affairs, the Army has been compelled to take control of the situation until further notice. A comprehensive statement will be made as soon as possible. This statement has the full backing and support of all members of the armed forces. Any undue outside interference will be viewed with disdain.
And Colonel S.H. King speaking. We will recall that an announcement dismissing the government from office was made by the Army Commander this afternoon. We wish to reassure all installers that a large percentage of members of the Royal Sierra Leone Military Forces will protect themselves from the adoption of this decision by the Army Commander. We therefore regard the present government as a legally constituted authority in Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Our Prime Minister speaking for you in Freetown. I am still alive and healthy by the grace of God. As you all know, things have returned to normal again, and everything is under control. It is a pity that it is hard to pass through these difficulties. But I want to assure you that things could have got very much worse were it not for the help of Providence. Everything is now under control, and I appeal to all to go about their normal duties. The government is determined to fulfill its responsibility to safeguard life and property. As I have said in one or two cases before, eternal vigilance is the price we have to pay for liberty. And it is out to all of us to be vigilant and watchful if we would want to safeguard our liberties and the liberties of our children.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Siaka Stevens, with a broadcast message to the nation.
As we march down to the Rio, as we march down to the our captain fell in love with a lady like a dove, and they called her name.
My dear people, this is your humble servant, the Prime Minister Siaka P speaking to you. This is my second talk to you since the present crisis began nearly 2 days ago. First of all, I should like to thank the officers and men of the military forces who have remained loyal to the government and who have done so much to bring the present difficulties to a solution. It is for all of us civilians to give every possible help and encouragement to these our military brothers in their difficult task. It is also our duty to bring to the notice of the authorities any person or persons who by word or deed attempts to start up dissension and conflict in our midst. It is our duty, both as civilians and soldiers, to do everything possible to see that calm is restored, so that the men can go about their work, the women about their business, and our boys and girls can continue to go to school. Let us tackle the present crisis. Sierra Leone belongs to all of us. Let us put the nation's interest before everything else. May God bless you.
You've been listening to the latest message from the Prime Minister of Sierra Leone, Dr. Siaka P.
By Sierra Sus, the easy wear are back for comfort and value. Now salon they make Sierra easy wear, and Sierra easy wear now the Sus for beach and well-go wash. Sierra easy wear are back light and the last long and no dear. All pockets able get Sierra easy wear because the price they down.
Get the taste. Lighter and get the taste of 3 5s by State Express. The one king-size filter cigarette to give you the taste of international success. The taste that is uniquely 3 5s.
It's coming up to news time, so stand by for the Greenwich time signal for 8 o'clock. But remember, at 8:15 after the news, we shall bring you the latest message from the Prime Minister. The time is 8 o'clock. Radio Sierra Leone. The news read by Don Taylor. The Prime Minister, Dr. Siaka Stevens, is in full control of the country after surviving a double assassination attempt and a coup attempt. He emerged after hours of confusion in the country and mystery about his whereabouts. In a broadcast over Radio Sierra Leone, he said he was well and healthy and the situation was now back to normal. Dr. Stevens said that there had been 2 attempts to assassinate him. First was at his residence about 1:30 local time yesterday, when soldiers attempted to kill him, but were warded off by his guards. Then at 12:30, a group of soldiers again attacked his office, where he was meeting with some of his colleagues. Dr. Stevens assured the country that the majority of the armed forces were loyal to his government and appealed to everyone to go about their normal business. Indications that Dr. Stevens was in control of the situation came first last night when the Army's number 3 man, Lieutenant Colonel Sam King, repudiated an earlier broadcast by the force commander, Brigadier John Bangura, that he was in control of the situation. Colonel King said the majority of the armed forces regarded Dr. Stevens' cabinet as the country's legally constituted government. This morning, Major Sam Coker, in a broadcast, also confirmed the Army's backing for Dr. Stevens. In another broadcast this evening, the Prime Minister thanked those officers and men of the Sierra Leone military forces who have remained loyal to the government and who have done so much to bring the present difficulties to a solution. He said, "It is for all civilians to give every possible help and encouragement to these our military brothers in their difficult task, and to bring to the notice of the authorities any person who by word or deed attempts to stir up dissension and conflict in our midst." Dr. Stevens added, "It is our duty both as civilians and soldiers to do everything possible to see that calm is restored, so that the men can go about their work, the women about their business, and our boys and girls can continue to go to school." He urged all to tackle the present crisis with zeal and put the nation's interests above everything else. Opposition Labour Party Member of Parliament in London today engaged in a marathon voting session as a last-ditch stand against the government's controversial industrial relations bill. At dawn, the House of Commons had been talking and voting for... The Prime Minister, Dr. Stevens, informed the nation that the armed forces of both Guinea and Sierra Leone have become one and are ready to crush all those who might attempt to gain peace and security in our two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, will now bring you a repeat of the Prime Minister's broadcast.